Testing. Okay, we got audio. All right, guys. Really sorry about that. As always, I am the world's worst tech guy. I'm the worst. I needed my own tech guy, my own private tech guy here. All right, are we good? Sound is good. All right, all good. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that again. I had to push a little button. It's all about the button pushing. If you know how to push those buttons, you get the mic to work. I need a professional button pusher. Anybody out there a professional button pusher? Okay, we're all good. We're all set. All right, guys, let's get started. What is the first comment or question here on this fight? We are doing RDA versus Colby Covington, an interim 5-round interim title fight. I'm looking forward to this fight. I think this is going to be a highly competitive fight, and I want to do a really good breakdown analysis on this fight. So we got the time. We got 121 people already logged in, so let's get started. Reset the stream. I wouldn't know how to do that if you asked me to. I really honestly wouldn't know how to do that. I do studio production for a living. Boy, could I use you. All right, guys, what is the first question? Let's start chopping this fight apart. Colby Covington takes on RDA. Colby needs to shut up. Well, you know what? I haven't been listening to what's going on in the media, but I'm pretty sure he's talking up a storm. I'm sure it's part of his strategy. He wants to try to get in RDA's head, but I thought it was gonna happen. You know, RDA's got a lot of experience. You know, he's been around for a long time. He's been in a lot of wars, and he has fought a lot of smack talkers in the past, and never seemed to have affected his performance. Who has better cardio? You know what? I would say it's pretty even. It's gonna be pretty even. They both got phenomenal cardio. They are both in supreme conditioning, supreme condition. And I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor. However, I do think that RDA, believe this or not, I think it's going to be a little bit bigger and stronger. I know he's coming up from lightweight, but I think he's going to be a little bit bigger and a little bit stronger. Same level of cardio. What do we got here? Who's going to win? Well, let me give you guys my pick right away, okay? This is a tough one to pick, guys. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I always do the hardest fights to pick because those are the fights I'm most excited about, right? Everybody's really excited about fights where we don't know what's going to happen. Nobody wants to watch a fight where we're so sure that one guy's going to beat the other. It's less exciting, you know. This is a tough one. This is a tough one to call. I'm going to give the edge to RDA, and I'll tell you why. Okay, let me give you guys straight up my right off the bat. Let me give you my thoughts on this fight. One, it's going to be highly competitive. The striking is going to be competitive. I think the wrestling can be very competitive. The conditioning. However, not the ground game. The ground game is going to be RDA. RDA is going to shine on the ground. Don't forget, he's been a black belt for a long time. I think he's been a black belt since he's like 21 years old, 20 years old. He's a very young black belt. Okay, so now he's got, not only is he a black belt, he's been a black belt for quite a while. And he's been competing for a very long time. So he's got that experience on the ground. When it hits the ground, I'm thinking it's RDA. However, the stand-up, I'm also giving us an edge to RDA. Why? Because he's got more tools. I think Colby is a very good striker, good boxing, but I think RDA has more tools. He's got that clinch. He's got that knee. He's got that scissor knee. He's got those leg kicks. He's got that vicious body kick that he likes to throw. So again, these are two southpaws. The body kicks might not be as effective as usual. Okay, usually that it's really helpful when you're a southpaw and your opponents are righty. You can drill that left body kick. You know, southpaws love that left body kick because it's always inspiring and they're always finding it. However, he's still got those leg kicks, those knees, those, you know, he's just such a brilliant Muay Thai fighter. He's just got such a beautiful classic style. And I think that's gonna help him out, you know, because the boxing will be kind of close, but those knees, those elbows, those kicks to the leg will just take it to the next level. Me too, coach. 3rd degree in BJJ. Oh, is it 3rd degree already? Oh, that's very good. Tu penses que RDA va réussir à arrêter les takedowns de Colby? This is from Jordan. Jordan is asking, do you think that RDA will be able to stop Colby Covington's takedowns? I think so. I think he'll be able to stuff them. Now, he's not going to stuff every one of them. Colby's a very seasoned wrestler. I believe he's a state champion, right? He's an All-American Division I champ, if I remember correctly. But let me ask you this. He's got 5 rounds. Even if he does get taken down, what's really going to happen? Colby's not going to try to pass, I don't think. Colby's not going to go for a sub. You know, if he takes RDA down, it's going to be like to ground and pound him. And that's going to be a tall order. I'll tell you why. Because RDA is going to flow right into a sub or stand back up real quick. So it's going to be a tough, tall order to take down RDA, then hold him down, then smash past him, then kind of ground and pound him. That's a tall order. Now you can do that on a guy who's a lesser grappler, a guy who's more of a striker, but RDA is a seasoned jiu-jitsu master. Okay, his jiu-jitsu is tight. So I think it's going to be a tall order. I don't think Colby's going to use his wrestling too much. I think he'll try to steal around here and there, but he's not going to try to work the ground. I don't think, unless he hurts RDA. Unless he hurts RDA with a bad shot, he shouldn't take RDA to the ground too much. I think it could be a big problem for him. I think RDA destroys Colby Covington on the feet. Look, I agree. I think that it can go south real bad for Colby if Colby doesn't know how to handle those leg kicks. Now, I'm not sure he does or doesn't. So I don't know. It's an X factor. But if he doesn't know how to handle that power kick to the leg, it's not going to last 5 rounds. Do you think that Colby's striking will far surpass? I think you meant RDA's. No, I don't think so. I don't think it will far surpass RDA. I think it could be competitive at best. Well, here's why, okay? I don't think Colby's got the power. I don't think he's a power puncher. Now, it doesn't mean he can't knock out RDA. Absolutely. Anybody can knock out anybody on any given night, okay? If you got a fist and you know how to swing it, you could land on the right button. You can land right here on the button at the right time when your opponent's not expecting it, and it's lights out. However, the odds of that of happening, I think, are lower. Much higher that RDA knocks him out or RDA hurts him. However, I'll tell you one thing. Colby's fight against Damian Maia showed to everybody that he can accumulate damage because he's very busy in there. When he was fighting RDA, I thought if it was a 5-rounder, I thought he was, when he was fighting Damian Maia, if that was a 5-rounder, I thought he would have stopped Damian Maia. I thought he would have stopped him, no doubt. I think Damian Maia, I felt like by the end of the third, Colby had Damian hanging by a thread. Really hanging by a thread. Like the fight was just going to be stopped eventually. Very close. Why? Too much damage. Cumulative damage. Too much cumulative damage. Too much cumulative damage. Damian Maia was a bloody mess. And that's the bottom line. Now, were they power shots? Yeah, they were stiff, but lots of volume. Lots of volume. Lots of volume. And lots of volume could be deadly. However, I feel RDA has seen that type of volume in the past. He's fought Ferguson. I think he can handle the volume. So I think it's RDA's explosive power on one side and volume. Okay, he's got very good volume. But Colby's got maybe a higher level of volume, but not as much power. But what happens if RDA takes down Colby Covington? Let me know if do you guys think that RDA can take down Colby Covington? I think he can. I think it's very possible. Now, it's not going to be easy. He's going to have to catch him by surprise. He's going to have to hurt him first. He's going to have to put the hurt on Colby. And when he puts the hurt on Colby, then that takedown door might open. If RDA gets on top of Colby, it could be very bad news. Especially if we're talking about in the center of the octagon. There's no fence to wall walk up. That can be a problem. That's going to be a problem. If he gets the back, if he gets half guard, smash pass. He'll pass, he'll mount, he'll take the back. I mean, RDA will take over, in my opinion. If RDA gets him to the ground, which I think he will down the stretch, maybe not early in the fight, but down the stretch, when he gets on top of him, it's going to be a controlled round for RDA at least. Do you think Colby can win using Khabib's game plan? I honestly don't think he could pull it off against RDA. I think that's too tall of an order. Now, Colby's an excellent wrestler, but he's going to have to punch. He's going to have to strike to set up those takedowns. I don't think he could just straight up take down RDA over and over again, hold him and control him, because he cannot out-grapple him on the ground. Khabib's got a seasoned level of jiu-jitsu. So once he gets to the ground, he knows what to do. Like his jiu-jitsu is tight. His sambo is tight. I think Colby's going to try to, he's going to try to ride. That's what they call it in wrestling. He's going to try to ride RDA, but it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. You need a blend of wrestling and jiu-jitsu to do that in MMA. And I don't think he has the jiu-jitsu portion as much as a Khabib. So I think RDA is going to find a way to get back to his feet, or he's going to find a way to sweep or submit even. Every round starts on the feet as well. Exactly. He's going to have to do that for 5 whole rounds. 3 rounds, I will tell you, look, it's possible. 3 rounds is possible. I just don't see it, though. 5 rounds, it would, you know what? If it does happen, is because I think Colby would have to hurt RDA. Sometimes you hit a guy on the chin and he just never recovers. Kind of like what happened between RDA and Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez, you know, after he launched that missile, RDA was just unable to recover. And even though RDA took down Eddie, and then Eddie kind of scrambled up and kept putting the pain on him, at that point, Eddie Alvarez could have took him down. He could have ground and pounded. He could have done a bunch of stuff, even though I don't think he's as seasoned a grappler as RDA. So there's that too. You know, we can't forget. Colby versus Joe Rogan. Yeah, I heard Colby Covington kind of threaten Joe or something like that. I don't know much about that, but I'm sure it was just probably like a joke. He was okay until Tony eye poked him. I'm sure you're referring to RDA versus Tony Ferguson. Yes, there was a vicious eye poke in that fight, and it might have altered the entire fight. You know, I guess we'll never know, but I definitely think that was a major factor in that fight that's been overlooked quite a bit. Different RDA at 170. Yeah, I like RDA at 170. I find he fits really well. I mean, look, he's fighting for the interim title. He's been doing incredibly well at 170. What a fantastic performance he had against Robbie Lawler. What a fantastic performance. 5 rounds of brilliance. Make sure to watch that fight. If you guys have not seen that fight, make sure to check it out. Did you hear about Yair Zabit fight is back on? No, I didn't hear about that. Is Yair back? Yair Rodriguez is back versus Zabit. That's interesting. That's a very interesting fight. But guys, I want to stay on topic here as much as possible. Let's continue with RDA and Colby Covington. Insane footwork, question mark. He walks straight into Alvarez's right hand. Well, look, guys, he was stalking Alvarez. Guys, sometimes, you know, it's funny because I was just talking about this in the gym. Okay, sometimes lightning is going to strike. Sometimes you got your guard up. Sometimes you're following your game plan. Sometimes you're footworking your way in and you're sliding your head around and you're doing everything right. And you know what? One of those shots just zips through and catches you right on the button. Think about it. It's a high statistical probability. You're sparring, you're fighting, you have many hours in the octagon. Sooner or later, guys, you can't slip them all. You know, when you're sparring, you don't see every shot. It's just humanly impossible. You can see the vast majority of them, but once in a while, a shot is going to slip through. Now, Eddie Alvarez set it up. Eddie Alvarez was doing a bunch of stuff. He has the same challenge on his end. It's completely fair. I'm not trying to say it was a lucky punch or anything like that. Both fighters are facing the same dilemma. It's a fair situation. However, guys, when you fight, sometimes it's going to happen. A shot's going to land right on the button. I don't think it was like a horrific technical error on RDA's part when he got caught by Eddie Alvarez. Eddie Alvarez just threw a beautiful shot, and even though RDA's guard was up, it slipped through the shot. And that was the beginning of the end. If Colby loses, are his trash-talking days over? Well, probably not. You know, I mean, McGregor's lost. I don't think it ended his trash-talking days. I think, you know, he's going to try to market himself any way he sees to be wise. And, you know, maybe he gets a lot of hate if he loses, especially if he loses in a bad fashion. You know, I find the guys, when they talk a lot of smack and they lose, you know, there are some, you know, people will talk back. People kind of step on them a bit. People kind of make them eat their words, definitely. However, if you lose in a horrible fashion, or you're kind of quit and you talked a lot of smack, then it's just like an avalanche. Then you just get an avalanche of hate, you know. So I don't see the reason really in talking smack. I don't even if people say, oh, it helps with the marketing, I don't believe it does. I don't think it does, honestly. Maybe for a certain few who it comes out naturally. Like when McGregor does it, you could tell it's natural. Then you have a bunch of people trying to imitate McGregor, and it just seems inauthentic. It seems fake, and I think people get turned off by that. Thank you. Who has a stand-up advantage? We talked about all that already. I think we've all agreed that it's RDA. How about you guys give me a vote? Why don't you guys type in RDA if you think RDA has the advantage, or Covington if you think Covington has the advantage? Why don't you guys go for a little vote here? Let me take a quick look at what you guys are thinking. Let's see what's going to come up here. RDA. RDA's got the stand-up advantage. RDA all the way, guys. I've got a whole board of RDA here. One Colby. We got one Colby. I got about 30 RDAs. 3 Colbys. I think we're at 50 RDAs right now. 4 Colbys. 5 Colbys. Okay, an overwhelming amount of you are going for Colby Covington. Excuse me. What am I saying? Overwhelming amount of you are saying RDA has a striking advantage. Guys, I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement. RDA, in my opinion, has a striking advantage. Can Colby Covington take him down and hold him down for the vast majority? Can he take down RDA for 3 rounds? Because he needs to bank in 3. Let's give him the bare minimum goal here. He needs to bank in 3. Can he do it by taking RDA down and controlling him for the vast majority of 3 rounds? I know there's 5 rounds. But if he loses the other 2, you know, if he doesn't lose them too badly, he could squeeze out a win. I'm talking about the bare minimum effort he need. Okay, obviously he's not going to go for just 3 rounds. He wants to bank in all 5. But let's give the minimum hurdle. What's the shortest hurdle that will get him a victory? If he squeezes out 3 rounds, do you guys think he can take down RDA for 3 rounds and hold him down for the majority of 3 rounds to bank in those 3 rounds? It's a tall order. Tall order. Can Colby knock out RDA? That's the thing. He's going to have to hurt RDA, and it's possible. I think in his last fight against Damian Maia, and I thought he was going to finish Damian Maia. I thought he was on the road to finishing Damian Maia, and that's not an easy thing to do. When was the last time Maia got finished? I honestly can't remember. I know he got finished against Nate Marquardt. Who else did he get finished against? If I remember, I'm forgetting now. Okay, but he's fought the who's who. You know, he's not an easy guy to finish. What do we got here? Colby is a washed-up Khabib. No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I don't say that his grappling is as good as Khabib's. His wrestling is up there. Just a grappling portion, I think it's going to be a problem for him. Colby will out-cardio RDA, trust me. Well done. I'd like to see that. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's very possible. It's very, very possible. It depends if he hurts RDA and gets him in some bad positions on the ground that RDA needs to work overtime. But RDA is in ridiculously good shape. I mean, what fights have you guys seen that RDA slows down in? I don't recall ever seeing RDA slow down in a fight. So I don't know why you guys would think he would slow down in this fight. Now, don't forget also, very important, RDA has done many 5-round fights. He's been scheduled for 5 rounds many times. So what would make you guys think that this 5-rounder, you know, he fought Robbie 5 rounds, he fought Pettis 5 rounds, he fought, well, Benson Henderson ended 1 round, but he prepared for a 5-rounder. You know, these are fights that you prepare for a 5-rounder, you become a 5-round fighter. And of course, he fought, who else did he fight? He fought Ferguson for 5 rounds. I mean, the list goes on and on. He's got quite a pedigree of 5 rounds. RDA's cardio is way better at 170. It was good at 155. I thought it was great at 155. I don't think that he had a cardio issue in the past. Lawler was finished. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Maybe he was injured. Maybe he's past his prime. It's kind of hard to say. Maybe just RDA was just, you know, another level. That's also a possibility. Colby Covington is undefeated against nerds. Well, let me tell you something. I would like to see you go up to RDA, tap him on the shoulder, and tell him, you, sir, are a nerd. I'd like to see you do that. What do we got here? Maia only has been finished by Nate. I think you're right. Yeah, I can't remember I cannot remember him being finished by anyone else. Even I mean, when he fought Chris, he didn't get finished. When he fought Anderson Silva, he didn't get finished. I mean, the guy is very durable. When he fought Rory, I mean, he took a beating. Didn't get finished. Very durable guy. What do we got here? Who is stronger on the ground? Guys, RDA has been a black belt since the age of 21. Now, it's really a difficult thing to get your black belt at the age of 21. You got to be really a special, you got to be a special little soldier on the mat to get a black belt at that age. And you have to be training from a very young age. So I would tell you guys without a doubt that RDA is going to be more comfortable on the ground. How good is RDA off his back? I think it's going to be rare that you see him there in this fight. I don't think he's going to put on his back. If he gets taken down, it's going to be one of those, my hips are on the ground, my hand is on the ground, I'm kind of like hip heisting. Getting fully flattened out on the ground, I think is a tall order. I don't think you're going to see RDA in that position. However, even if he is, I'm guaranteeing you his guard is phenomenal. even though I've never seen it. His guard is going to be phenomenal. The man's been a black belt since he's 21. For goodness sake, he's played guard. What else we got here? What do you think of RDA's clinch game? Well, let me tell you guys something. Go watch his fight against Robbie Lawler. He out-clinched Robbie Lawler quite comfortably. You know, I gave him a lot of credit for what he did to Robbie in the clinch. He did a phenomenal job in the clinch. RDA is a class 1 clincher. For us, what should Colby Covington's game plan be? Well, you know what? He has to find a way to hurt RDA. He can't play a points game on the feet. I think that'll go south. He's got to hurt RDA. He's got to maul RDA on the ground. And to do that, he's got to hurt him. If he doesn't hurt him, I mean, I know there's a possibility of him out-cardioing. I know some people are been saying that there's a possibility he out-cardios RDA. Yes, I agree, but a small possibility. I just don't see that as a very, very secure game plan. Why is RDA's jiu-jitsu useless against Khabib? Because Khabib knows the jiu-jitsu just as well. Don't forget, Khabib has been wrestling bears, literally. I'm talking literally here. The man has been wrestling bears since the man was a child. His father was a national champion in judo. Like, his father was a judo master. And judo, you do arm bars, you do triangles, you do stuff. You know, they have newaza, they have the ground game. He is super familiar with what RDA was trying to do on the ground. Colby comes from a wrestling background. He doesn't have as much experience with the triangles, arm bars, sweeps, all these bizarre things that you can do on the ground. So I would have to say that it's a different animal. You know, Khabib is a different animal than Colby. Do you think Rafael will kick a lot since Colby's a wrestler? Yes, I think he's going to kick. He's going to kick, and he's going to kick hard, and he's going to trash that leg. He's going to go for it. I guarantee you he's going to do it. I guarantee you. He has no fear of the takedown. He's going to trash that leg. If Colby shoots, RDA has a lot of confidence in his takedown defense. He's going to implement his takedown defense, and if he gets taken down, he's going to hip heist right back up to his feet, and he's just going to brush it off. He's not going to go in there being scared of going to the ground. The guy has been a black belt since he's 21. The ground is not scary to him. Okay, now if he was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu or purple belt, he would think twice before kicking. He would be like, you know what? Is it worth it? If I get taken down, am I going to get stuck there? You know, he doesn't have those kind of thoughts in his head. In his head, if it goes to the ground, you're dead. If you shoot on me, you're dead. If you stand with me, you're dead. That's his mentality. He's not worried about going to the ground. He's comfortable everywhere. What else we got here? Colby is a small welterweight. Well, maybe. You know, I've never seen him in live. I would easily tell you he's not the biggest welterweight, no doubt. But I don't know if he's just smaller than RDA. I'm not sure about that. We'll see on fight night when they're squared off against one another. But he hasn't had a problem athletically. That's the only issue. Has he ever had a problem athletically? Has he been getting bossed around in there? No, he hasn't. So I think it's the right fit for him. Plus his cardio is off the charts. What do we got here? Maia should have had a bigger ground advantage. Well, he never got Colby to the ground. Partially, like Colby kind of touched the ground with like one knee or something. I mean, there was no ground. It was all stand up. And Colby had that speed. Colby just really was just too fast for Maia. Maia was just, the footwork was too slow. The hands were too slow. I mean, you know what? I shouldn't say all that. I mean, round one was competitive. I'd have to watch it again. I remember Maia stunning with a good shot. He popped a good shot on Covington's chin. And I can't remember if I gave Maia the first round. I can't remember. I just remember the last two rounds were all the way. There was Colby all the way, and I thought the fight was almost over by round 3. So you guys will have to remind me who won round 1. I remember Colby. I watched it a few months ago. I remember Colby getting stunned good. Getting a good shot. But brushing it off, taking it cool, not panicking. And that just shows, his level of competitive experience. He knew not to freak out. Can RDA Baron Bolo Colby? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. You know, to Baron Bolo, you kind of expose your face for a second. You know, it's not impossible. For those of you who don't know what Baron Bolo is, it's kind of like, well, there's actually two references to Baron Bolo. When you spin between the guy's legs, or when you drop the guy on the mat, his hips are on the mat. You're in a kind of a double guard pull position, and you spin underneath his legs. That's really the authentic Baron Bolo. But these kind of things you won't see in MMA. It's too slippery, and the guy can punch you. You know, so it's not a move you're really going to see in MMA. RDA seems emotionally invested. Well, I don't know. I haven't been listening to the pre-fight hype. I haven't had the time to sit down and watch some of that pre-fight hype, but I'll tell you, that could be a problem. You know, that's how guys gas out on the fight. You know, they forget their technique, and they just kind of like resort to their instinct, and then you find yourself spending a lot of energy. So I hope that's not the case for RDA, for RDA's sake. Kobe will surprise everyone with his sub game. Well, how many subs does Colby Covington have? Let me look this up. I'm going to look this up right now. I think it's kind of unlikely, you know, to say the least. Let me look at his Sherdog record here. Let's see here. How many submissions we got here? 5 submissions. Let's see what kind of subs he does. Submission, rear naked choke. Submission, rear naked choke. Arm triangle choke. Okay, so he's got a few subs. Rear naked choke, rear naked choke, rear naked choke, arm triangle choke. Okay, so can he take RDA's back? So he's got those basic subs. Can he take RDA's back? Oof. I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest with you. How many times have we seen RDA give up his back in a fight? I'm trying to think right now. I'm at 0 so far. I can't think of a single instance. Can you guys think of an instance where RDA gives up his back in a fight? I do Kung Fu. You're asking me about his old striking coach. Sorry, it's skipping so fast. I don't have time to read it. I'm sorry. I gotta freeze the questions. All right. So what do we got here? RDA versus Till. Well, that's like this. I mean, if he beats Colby Covington, he might get a shot against Woodley, or if Woodley is unavailable or whatnot, Till might be a possibility. That would be an epic fight. But Till is really big. You know, like a really tall, long reach. I know it's gonna be that should be fascinating. Like guys, we'll have a pre-fight analysis for that one for sure, no doubt about it. If that ever happens. Okay, what do we got here? I want Kobe to win, so we get Woodley versus Covington. That's a possibility. You know what though? I think Woodley. That's a Woodley fight. Covington versus Woodley. I think Woodley's too much. He's got that devastating power, and he's gonna be impossible to take down. It's gonna be too hard to take down Woodley. Woodley won't get taken down. It's gonna be very, very difficult. What else we got here? Clay Guida beat RDA with a submission. He did, but don't forget, I think RDA's jaw was broken then. And Guida kind of had him in a half guard, and he was kind of smash passing him, and he was driving his shoulder inside RDA's jaw, and RDA tapped because his jaw was cracked. So it wasn't really like a I took his back and choked him kind of thing. It's still a sub. It's a TKO. Definitely, it's a verbal submission. However, there was an injury involved there, and of course, it didn't happen because he chewed some ice. It happened because Guida beat him. Guida beat him, no doubt. But it wasn't. It wasn't a real straight sub. Okay, one person just got banned here. Hold on, let me just grab this here. All right, here we go. Mr. Here, you're banned. Put user in timeout. Okay, I'll give you one timeout. Okay, next time I gotta ban you. Next guy I ban. All right, what else we got here? What else we got here? We got 474 people. Whoa, good job. You guys are really packing in here. Doesn't Woodley train with Ben Askren? Yes, he does. You know, and if you can spar every day with Ben Askren and keep him off your legs and keep him from taking you down, I'm sure you're going to be able to stop anybody in the game. So Woodley, a very difficult guy to take down, no doubt about it. I feel Till is the only fighter that can beat Woodley. Maybe that's a good possibility. But RDA is still up there as well. So I mean, I'm looking forward to see what RDA can do against Colby. For us, have you done a breakdown on Rivera and Morales? No, I haven't. I haven't had the chance to do that, guys. This is probably the only fight I'm going to break down for the next week or so. Because next week I'm also in Chicago for the UFC. CM Punk should be in the main event. I don't think so. He's not on the main card, I hope. Well, I guess he might be. He's got a lot of WWE fans, so they might want to put him on the later end of the card. He's fighting Michael Jackson. If you guys don't know, he's fighting Michael Jackson, another greener fighter, and should be entertaining. I mean, you know, I know a lot of people are complaining about that fight, but look, you're all gonna watch. You know, there's nobody who's gonna be shielding their eyes during that fight. Okay, what else we got here, guys? Colby Covington versus RDA. Coming up next week. Epic fight for the interim championship. Welterweight championship. Lawler was past his prime. Well, you know, when he fought RDA, maybe RDA was just better than him, and it made it look like he's past his prime. Who knows? Maybe Lawler goes and wins 3-4 fights in a row. You know, who's to say? It's kind of hard to say whether he's past his prime. If he loses his next fight badly, and the fight after that badly, and then he retires, I'll tell you guys, you know what? He was past his prime when RDA beat him, and he was on a slide, and you know, I will agree with you, but now just too early. He just lost a fight. Doesn't mean he's on a slide. Doesn't mean that he's not going to come back and win a few, you know. So I don't agree. I don't agree yet. We don't know enough to say that he's on a slide. Lawler hurt his leg in the fight. Yeah, he did, maybe, but also RDA kicked his leg. So, I mean, you know, he landed some beautiful kicks in that fight. So, might be a reason why he hurt his leg. Here we go. RDA has changed gyms a few times. Isn't that bad? Well, I don't know. You know, it depends. Sometimes you change gym for a good reason. Sometimes you change gyms for a bad reason. I don't really know anything about the internal reasons of why he changed gym. Got no idea. But he's been performing well. You know, he knows what to do. He's at that level now where he knows what to do to prepare for a fight. He understands what he needs to do. He doesn't need anybody really. You know, he just needs somebody to help him get through his routine. Now, if he has a great coach with him, he'll improve even more. But just the level he's at already, he's already world championship caliber. Kobe's trying hard to get people to tune into this fight. He's doing a bunch of stunts. I think he will put a lot of pressure on him. He's playing the bad guy, etc., etc. I have no idea what he's been doing. You know, I have no idea what he's been saying or doing. So, is he hyping up his fight? Well, I'm sure that, you know, he wants to get those pay-per-view numbers up. You know, you get paid according to your pay-per-view as well if you're champion. And this is his chance to prove that he can sell big fights and get a lot of pay-per-views. So maybe that's his strategy. I don't know. Does that put pressure on you? Yeah, it does. I think it does. I think it does. You know why? Because if you lose, you got to eat it's not just you get the sting of the loss. You also got to eat all your words. You got to eat all your words. Why put that pressure on you? Why have all that on you? Why don't you just be yourself? You know, have some charisma. Be a pleasant guy. Be the type of guy that, you know, whoever you naturally are. I do feel like it's a bit forced when it comes from Kobe. I do feel like it's a little bit forced. But again, I don't know the guy. Colby looks like a white... I can't read that. You got to go into timeout. All right, sorry. I got to pre-read these guys. I'm getting me in trouble here. You're in a timeout, bud. Kobe's a nice guy in real life. I'm sure he is, Steve. I'm pretty sure he is. No doubt about it, you know. But that's why I tell you, it seems like it's a bit of an act. You know, he's trying to get people's attention. I understand that. What do you think about Romero versus Whitaker? Well, guys, you know, I trained a long time with Whitaker, so I'm always going to pick my buds. I gotta give you guys a heads up. I'm a little bit biased. I think he's you know, he's the better fighter. Whitaker should win this fight again. I think it's going to come down to the stand up. You know, we saw a lot of stand up in their first fight. I think it's going to be very similar, but I just think Whitaker's busier. He's busier, and even if he gets taken down, he can get back up to his feet. But then again, you know, you can't discount a man like Romero. You just can't. RDA is too emotional. Well, we talked about that a little earlier. I hope that's not the case, guys, because that's the one way you can beat a guy. When a guy's very emotional. They say, you know, in the book of boxing, they say if a guy is a better boxer than you, get him to fight you. If the guy's a lesser boxer than you, don't fight him. Just box him. Meaning, you know, like stick to the rules of boxing. Stay true to the textbook of boxing. But if the guy has more skill than you, kind of get in there, you know, butt head, step on his feet, shrug him, you know, bump him, and grind your glove in his face. Get him to get angry. You know, when you get him angry, he's going to start throwing haymakers. He's going to start fighting you back, you know, kind of insult him. Get in his head. And maybe you make him forget his technique. Now, this is a strategy that's worked many times in the past. Many times. The greatest, probably the most classic example is Muhammad Ali versus Joe Frazier. You know, the old rope-a-dope. Muhammad Ali was just losing round after round, just talking smack. Till Foreman just forgot totally about the scorecards, forgot totally about strategy, just started punching. He wanted to put that mouth away. He wanted to put Muhammad Ali's mouth away. And Muhammad Ali was talking trash from the beginning of that fight. Even before that fight was signed. He was badly inside the head of George Foreman. And it worked. What else we got here? Usman's win over Maia was more impressive. Yes and no. It was a one-sided fight, but he didn't have the damage that Colby did. I thought Colby did more damage to Maia. Again, though, both very, very impressive performances, and I think Usman is a force to be reckoned with. He is a very dangerous welterweight. Not an easy fight for anybody. Nobody's going to have an easy fight with Usman. What else we got here? Colby is 8-1. What are the odds? Let me take a look at the odds. Because that can't be right. That cannot be right. Hold on. That can't be right. 8-1 is impossible. All right. Let me go check the odds here. Because that makes no sense. You know, it's rare I ever check the odds. Okay, no, he's not. He's a plus 105. Dos Anjos is a minus 135. So that's what I was telling you. Even the odds makers see this as a very, very close fight. Why? Because Colby Covington is very busy in there. So kid his volume. Put RDA on the back foot. Put RDA possibly on the back foot and kind of wear him out and kind of gas him out. Look, I'm looking at a variety of fight odds, and they're quite competitive. The biggest gap I'm seeing right here is RDA at minus 300. RDA at a minus 305. That's significant. That's very significant. But the vast majority of odds makers are keeping them around 180, minus 180, minus 190, minus 120, minus, what do we got here? Minus 190. So, I mean, the odds makers are giving the edge to RDA. So, it's definitely not 8-1. That wouldn't make any sense. Till is unstoppable. Well, we'll have to wait and see. He's got a lot of great fights ahead of him, I'm sure. Let's see here. Thoughts on traditional sauna versus infrared? Guys, let's stay on topic. RDA versus Colby Covington. pre-fight analysis video. We are almost out of time, so let's keep it on the money. Minus 135 is the worst odds for RDA. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? For us, will death happen in the UFC someday? It's very possible. It's a statistical possibility. You know, and then again, like every sport. And that's why it's so important that they clean up the sport. You know, we got to get the drugs out of the sport because that can contribute to somebody dying in the octagon. Think about that. Imagine I kill a guy in the octagon and then I get tested, I get flagged for some type of steroid. And we're always going to wonder, hey, did that steroid have anything to do with the guy dying? Or what if I'm fighting in the gym, in the octagon, and I die in the octagon, and then they find out I was on some type of substance, and that illegal substance might have interacted with an ailment I had and killed me. But of course, you're taking it underground, right? Those substances are illegal. So we got to make sure that the fighters are not on these type of things. Do you think RDA can knock him out? Absolutely. RDA can knock out anybody. For us, do you think Colby can knock out RDA on the feet only with volume? Unlikely. Guys, I'm not trying to say it's impossible. He can land a good shot on the button, knock out RDA, flatten him out. At night, the night is over. And we're all going to be there shocked and surprised because it was statistically unlikely. Not statistically impossible. However, I think Colby has more chance of finishing him with high volume strikes. High volume strikes. Ground domination. High volume strikes. Ground domination. And then maybe a sub if he gets... You know, if he gets RDA to that point where he's completely exhausted. However, in my opinion, Colby's safest way to win is to bank in 3 rounds. I don't think he finishes RDA. I think he can bank in 3 rounds. I see RDA banking in 5 rounds, 3 rounds easily, 5 rounds possibly, and also has a possibility of finishing him by sub. You can finish Colby by sub and by knockout. So there are more ways to finish for RDA, in my opinion. There's just more ways. Sub, possibility. Decision, very possible. Knockout, super possible. So for Colby, I just see it as he's gonna bank in 3. I don't think he wins all 5. So just a more limited, narrow possibility for Colby's wins. Possibility to win. What do you think Colby can do? Sorry, wrong one. Hold on a second. I gotta scroll here. Colby by decision, especially because it's a 3-rounder. No, this fight is scheduled for 5. Guys, this fight is scheduled for 5. I'm just gonna double check that with you guys. Hold on a second. Unless anything has changed. Guys, this is a 5-round fight, right? This is what I heard. It's an interim 5-round fight. I don't know why you're saying it's 3. I'm sure you're confused. I'm sure you're making an error. I mean, RDA hardly uses his jits anymore. Well, he doesn't need it, right? He's just kicking ass, standing up. And he did use it against Robbie on top, but he's doing a lot of ground and pound. And that just shows, you know, he knows when to use it when he doesn't need to use it. Sometimes it's just better to punch the guy. Sometimes it's just better to control the man with your jiu-jitsu. Now, don't forget, jiu-jitsu is just a great way for me to hold you down to the mat and hit you. If I don't have the jiu-jitsu, you're probably going to jump back up to your feet. So the jiu-jitsu is all about control. It's not necessarily about the subs, you know. Don't make too much of the sub. The fact that he was able to hold Robbie Lawler down on the mat, control him, keep him from getting up. How do you think he did that? Well, he did that with his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. Colby gets KO'd by Joe Rogan's spinning back kick. Well, you know what? Anybody can get KO'd. If he gets hit with that thing, you're done. I don't care who you are. You get hit with that spinning back kick, it's the end of the night for you. What is the best advantage if clinched against the cage? Who has the advantage clinch against the cage? I'm going with RDA, guys. I think Colby's going to have his moments in the clinch, but nowhere near RDA's. RDA's are going to break free, and he's going to use that Muay Thai clinch. Wrestling and Muay Thai clinch. Wrestling. He's just got a beautiful Muay Thai clinch. Really fantastic Muay Thai. Excuse me. Really fantastic Muay Thai clinch. So I'm going to go with RDA in the clinch game here. What else we got here? Do you think RDA has a suspect chin? No, I don't. Why would you guys say that? What makes you guys think he has a suspect chin? Well, what are his knockouts? Let's take a quick look here. So he's been knocked out a few times. Let me take a quick little look here. No. What happened here? I lost my... Okay, here we go. RDA, let's see. He's got 9 losses. He's been knocked out only twice. Okay, so he's only been KO'd or knocked out twice. One knockout was against Eddie Alvarez, and the other one was against, let's see here. What do we got? He got KO'd by Jeremy Stevens. Yeah, we all remember that KO. That was one of the most brutal KOs in the game. So I would say no, he has a great chin. Why? Because he's been in so many battles and avoided being knocked out. So I would interpret that as that he's got a very good chin. Think about it. He's fought the who's who. He's fought killer strikers. And he's only been knocked out twice. So that shows he's been hit. You know, he has been hit, no doubt about it. The guy's got 28 wins, 9 losses. So he's got, you know, close to 40 fights. Fighting killers. And he's only ever been stopped twice. So that's a sign of a great chin. Okay, guys, I'm going to take a few more. Then we're going to wrap this up. RDA is going to get wrestled for 5 rounds. I got to put you in timeout because you swore. Okay, but I'm going to work on your questions, so listen up. Put the user in timeout. Don't swear, guys. Keep it clean here, please. I don't think he gets wrestled for 5 rounds. I don't think so. Do you guys think that RDA's wrestling is not up to par? It's up there, man. He's got one of the best wrestling games in the game. He's one of the best wrestlers in the game. The guy can wrestle with anyone. No doubt about it. You guys will be very surprised. RDA's wrestling is on point. Of course, so is Kobe. Takedowns will happen in this fight, but it's going to be a seesaw battle. And nobody's going to score easy takedowns. Nobody. It's going to be a real battle, guys. I'm telling you. It's going to be a great, epic fight. Don't miss this fight. Okay, we got a super chat. Grip guard subs when sweaty. No gi. Guys, this is staying on. Berkant, you got to... This is not an Ask Me Anything. This is a pre-fight analysis. I'm doing a pre-fight analysis for Colby Covington versus RDA. So let's stay on point here. Real important. Computer expert. I love you right back. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Khabib ruined RDA. Not really. No, he didn't. You know, I mean, you guys got to get over that loss. You know, it was a loss many years ago. I mean, the man was champion after that. The man became champion after that. He's fighting for another title in the weight class above. We got to get over that loss. I mean, people always bring up that loss all the time. It's just you guys got to go over it. He's different now. He's a different fighter. He's rebuilt himself. He's been on a streak. He's been on a massive tear of wins. Let's see what he's done here. Okay, let's look. He lost Khabib in 2014. Then he won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights in a row. He won 5 fights in a row. Captured the title. Won 5 fights in a row. Took the title from Anthony Pettis. Then defended his title. Then he went on a bit of a slide. He lost 2 fights in a row. He lost to Eddie Alvarez, Tony Ferguson. Then he goes up a weight class. And he wins another 3 fights in a row. So, I mean, the man has been doing really well. The man has been doing really well. And now he finds himself in a world title fight. So, guys, I can't see how anybody can say he's not a different fighter since he fought Khabib. That was in 2004. That was 2014. That was 4 years ago. That was 10 fights ago. For goodness sake, the man has been, the man has been reinvented. We'd have to see them fight again. I'm not saying he'd beat Khabib. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's kind of hard to say that he's been on this incredible win streak. He's won 2 titles. Well, he's won 1 title, on the verge of winning another title. He might win another title. And we're going to say that, oh, he's ruined because he had a fight, 4 years ago. He lost the fight 4 years ago. Even though he came back and won a title, he was ruined. People make too much of these things. The guy lost a fight. It happened. It was a 3-rounder. He went back to the drawing board. He adjusted some things. It's the way the game is played, guys. You gotta know that you're gonna drop a ball here and there. It's gonna happen. You're gonna make a wrong decision. You're gonna go in with the wrong strategy. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. It's not that clear. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. Everybody has a hindsight, But tell me that before the fight. That's not that easy. That's why when you make a decision, especially when the event happened, you got to go back and think about what information did you have before the fight. And would you have come to the same conclusion that you are now coming to after the fight? You gotta make this as a type of thought experiment. Everybody's gonna be like, oh well, he lost because of these 3 reasons, and it's obvious. Well, if I gave you all the information before the fight, would you have come to that conclusion? Because after the fight, it's easy. It's easy to say that. So, you know, it's a bit of a tricky mind game, you know, that people play. That they always seem to know the answer after the fight. And it's normal. That's normal, right? There is something evident after the fight. But we got to remember, the man didn't know, you know, what he needed to adjust. He went back to the drawing board. He adjusted it. And now look at how great he's been doing. The man has been doing incredibly well in UFC. How does RDA and how does Colby match up with the champion? Okay, well, Tyron Woodley's the champion. I think Tyron Woodley stylistically is a bad matchup for Colby. Because he does what Colby does, but he's got a thumper of a right hand. You know, that right hand it's a cannon. Plus, he has a lot of 5-round experience. So those two advantages, I think I would go I would go, if it was Colby Covington versus Woodley, I would go Woodley, no doubt. No doubt. Woodley's got also that devastating low kick. That blasting low kick. That low kick that cripples legs. Colby doesn't have that type of power. And RDA can match that. RDA can match that. He can threaten the takedown. He can match the stand-up. I think RDA is a much more dangerous fight for Woodley. It's not that cut and dry. I agree with you guys. It's not that cut and dry. You know, it's not that cut and dry. No. Fighting is chaotic. Listen up to me. This is all speculation. We're doing this for fun, guys. Nobody knows what's going to happen in this fight. A guy can go in there and twist his ankle, for goodness sake. A guy can go in there and get eye poked. A guy can go in there, throw just a bad shot, get countered really bad, and the rest of the fight is just, you know, he's not able to recover after that one bad shot. You know what happens? Sometimes guys are fighting. It's really, really competitive. It can go either way. And one guy gets hit with one bad shot and just can't get back in the game. I've seen it. Like, I mean, there's so many things that can happen in a fight that trying to predict fights, you know, if you've been around a lot, you've watched thousands and thousands and thousands of fights, and you've seen all the weird stuff, you know. A guy kicking a guy. I've seen a guy kick a guy, poke him in the eye with a toe. For goodness sake. I mean, things that, like, they're so rare, but they happen. And things you would have never pictured is going to happen in this fight. A guy throws a spinning kick, and he's never done a spinning kick in his life. Or a guy does a flying knee, and the guy, I don't know, you know, like, sometimes things just happen. A guy scores a leg lock. He's never done a sub in his entire career. You just never know what can happen in a fight, especially MMA. Because MMA, there are so few rules. You can knee, you can kick, you can wrestle, you can choke. The possibilities of winning. We saw the guy in UFC who did the Ezekiel. You know, he grabs the guy in Ezekiel, throws himself on his back, allows the guy to mount him. Wins by Ezekiel. 2 Ezekiel chokes in UFC. I mean, it happens, guys. There are different types of animals in MMA. They're all out there. They're all these strange type of weird type of fighters. Some guys are just good at one thing, and they go around the winning till somebody figures out what they do and doesn't give it to them anymore, and then they can't win a fight. All of a sudden, they can't win a fight anymore. There are so many different animals in MMA, so that's why it's so exciting. But the possibilities are so ridiculously numerous. There's no way to predict these kind of things. For us, GSP versus Khabib, more dangerous than Conor versus Khabib. Yes. GSP versus Khabib is more dangerous for Khabib. However, losing to McGregor would probably be more humiliating because McGregor would just, you know, George will be nice to you about it. George won't insult you. You don't want to lose to McGregor. He's just the type of guy that, you know, he's not going to be classy about it. Let's just say that, you know, it's not going to be a pleasant experience. What else we got here? Best way for RDA to beat Colby, I think it's going to be stand up. He's just going to try to buzzsaw the buzzsaw. You know, Colby's got that high-paced striking. I think RDA is going to match it. I think he's going to try to push him back. So Colby's going to start really high, you know, and RDA is just going to challenge him and show him that, hey, I'm even higher paced than you, and I can push you back with my strikes. And all of a sudden, Colby may find himself walking backwards, backpedaling, and this could be the beginning of the end. You know, I think that's what RDA's strategy is. Personally, I have this feeling that he's going to come forward and he's got his bases covered. He's got the wrestling covered. He's got the jiu-jitsu covered. He's got the striking covered. He's so confident. He's not going to do like he did with Robbie. With Robbie, he kind of threw a kick, moved back, threw a punch, moved back. He kind of danced around a bit. Watch that fight again. And round one, I'm talking about round one. He eased his way into the fight. I don't think he's going to do that with Colby because he's probably telling himself, I got more power than Colby. Colby's not a power puncher. Colby's a high-paced fighter. Well, I'm gonna take that away from him. I'm gonna get him to walk back, And if he's successful with this, it could be dangerous. It could be a really bad night for Colby. But then again, that's a big if. Colby's going to get smashed. Well, you know what? It might be very possible. I'm going to ask you guys now, just let's take a quick vote. Now that we're over 500 people, type in the name of who you think is going to win, RDA or Colby Covington. So give me a CC or RDA. RDA for RDA and CC for Colby Covington. Let's go. Let's see you guys vote here. We got RDA, Colby, RDA, all RDA, Colby, a few Colbys. Guys, we got a lot. I would say about at least 70% RDA. We got one big Colby, RDA. Oh, we got 3 Colbys in a row. Oh, 3 Colbys in a row. RDA hands down. McGregor, he's not even in the polls. Oh, it's getting more competitive now. We got some more votes for Colby, but still a majority, I would say, for RDA. RDA by murder. I'm sure that will make a lot of Brazilians happy. I'm sure that will make... No, guys, we can't go that far. We can't think like that. We can't think like that. Those are 2 fine human beings in there. We can't think like that. It's just it's a sport, guys, and we got to make sure that we don't lose our heads. You know, we don't lose our heads now. These are, I'm sure, 2 fine human beings with a lot of respect for each other, regardless of what they say. Deep down inside, they have some respect for one another, and I'm sure this is just promotional stuff. Why? Because you guys eat it up. You guys eat it up. You guys watch it more. It's really the fans' fault if you think about it. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do 1 or 2 last ones, and then we're gonna bank this one in. Okay. What else we got here? What else we got here? What else we got here? Who's got the mental edge? Okay, well, I personally think RDA. Why? RDA. Let me just give you a 2-part answer real quick. RDA has more 5-round experience. The man has done it. The man has done it. And it's a weird thing because 5 rounds is a very different strategy than 3 rounds. It's a totally different fight. Like, if you ever sparred 5 rounds in a row and filmed it and like kind of watched like how much time you have, you got to fight differently in a way. Colby doesn't have that experience, but you guys are telling me that it seems like Colby's under the skin of RDA. And I haven't experienced that personally. I haven't looked that up. I haven't really listened to anything at all that they have said to one another. So I'm hoping that's not the case, because that could swing the mental game in Colby's favor. Now, if it does, and RDA starts fighting like kind of like a street fighter, that could open a door for Colby. So, but man, I don't know. RDA is he might be a little too smart for that. All right, guys, the last one. Let's do the last one. Let's do the last one. Okay, we gotta ban another dude. What's it with you guys today? Put user in timeout. Okay, I'm gonna put you in timeout. Next one, you're banned. Banned for life, okay? Be a good boy now in the chat room. Should Colby try to kick in the fight or stick to the gloves? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one. That's a great question. Fantastic question. Who posted that great question? King Bariga. King Bariga. Very, very good question. What do you guys think? Yes or no? Should Colby kick in this fight? Give me a yes or no. I think this is crucial. Give me your vote here. Yes for he should kick, and just a simple no for he should not kick. Kostya Zoo says yes. Kostya Zoo says yes. Renegade, no. Carlos, yes. No, yes. You guys are like 50-50 here. We got a 50-50. Well, here's what I got to tell you right now. If he kicks RDA, he's going to get taken down. My opinion, my point of view. If he kicks RDA, RDA will double leg him. If RDA double legs him, it might be a short night. So I wouldn't kick RDA quite early, because you don't have that jiu-jitsu safety net to fall back on. And you don't want RDA on top of you. You don't want him on top of you. He's a great passer. He's a great, great passer. So I wouldn't kick too much. Again, I don't know Colby's jiu-jitsu level. I don't know. It just, even if he was really good at jiu-jitsu, RDA's top game is really, really strong. So I wouldn't want to go under him. He's just, he's going to pass. He's going to pass. He's going to get control. He could take the back, and for sure he can sub. He can sub. So kicking might lead to takedown for RDA. Now, do you think that Colby can chop the legs of RDA? Is it worth going for it? Do you think he could chop the legs of RDA? RDA is starting to wobble now, and he's lost the bounce in his step, and now he's got to change stance because his leg is mangled. I don't think so. I haven't seen Colby show that he can do that. Maybe he's been working on it night and day, and we're all going to be surprised on fight night. Maybe. It's a possibility. However, I don't think he does have that kind of kick. And if he tries it, he's just going to get checked. You know, RDA is going to block the kick, block the kick, block the kick. Or he's going to double leg him. Eventually, he'll see a sweet one, and he'll double leg him, and he'll be on top, and he'll bank in that round at the very least. So, in my opinion, Colby's got to go for those gloves. He's got to use those gloves. He's got to use those elbows. Knee's good too. But be careful when you kick, because RDA's got a good, powerful, explosive double leg, and he's no doubt going to shoot it. Now, he got kicked by Ferguson. If you guys remember, watch the Ferguson-RDA fight. Ferguson nailed some beautiful low kicks. And RDA actually shoots on one of them and gets sprawled. But Ferguson's kicking ability is, it's good. It's good, man. And he's got those long legs. And even when you take him down, if you guys remember, RDA took down Ferguson in round 1. Ferguson defended himself beautifully and ended up getting back up to his feet. But he has some very slick jiu-jitsu. Ferguson is very slick. You saw he was comfortable on his back. You saw, how many times has he been taken down and kind of does a roll. He rolls out of it. When he fought Josh Thompson and all that. I mean, he's just a different animal. He's got a safety net of jiu-jitsu behind him. So does Colby have that safety net? Well, I don't want to say no. I haven't seen it. It doesn't look like he has it. So I'm gonna assume that it's not as secure as what RDA has. I'm just gonna assume that. So that's the last one for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. We've banked in 1 hour and 5 minutes. Thank you all very much. Sorry again for the little sound snafu. I'm still getting used to the software and mic here. I will make sure to hopefully double check that in the next episode. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, and comment so we can have more of these episodes. And I will